The Ural Mountains. Winter. February 1959. 9 young, strong, ambitious students set off on a ski trek. It was supposed to be another step toward their dreams, earning the highest level of hiking certification. But this trip became their last. Three weeks later, they were found dead. Scattered across a frozen slope, with horrifying injuries, half-dressed in -30 degrees Celsius. Their tent was slashed from the inside. Tracks in the snow showed they had walked away barefoot, into the night. Some of their bodies would only be found months later, once the snow began to melt. What happened to them on that terrifying night? Why did they abandon the safety of their tent, their warm clothes, their food, and walk to their deaths? For more than 60 years, no one has been able to fully answer these questions. This is a story that still chills the blood. There were 9 of them. Igor Dyatlov, 23 years old, radio engineering student, experienced hiker, the group's leader. Zinaida Kolmogorova, always smiling, warm-hearted. Georgy Krivonischenko, the joker, loved singing by the fire. Yuri Doroshenko, tall, strong, recently rescued a girl from a burning building. Then Rustem Slobodin, Nikolai Thibeaux-Brignol, Semyon Zolotaryov, Alexander Kolevatov, and Ludmila Dubinina. They weren't just teammates, they were close friends. Together they had already survived many nights by the fire, many kilometers in the bitter cold. This trek was important to them. Successfully completing it would earn them a third-class hiking certificate, the highest at the time, marking them as elite Soviet hikers. They started in the town of Ivdel. From there, by train, truck, then on skis, they reached a small settlement called Second Northern. Beyond that lay only the wilderness, and their goal, Mount Otorten. Along the way was a mountain the local Mansi people called Kholat Syakhl, Mountain of the Dead. Was it superstition? Bad omen? For these students, it was simply another peak on the map. They carried a camera. Their diaries were full of jokes, complaints about the wind, hopes for the future. Nothing suggested the horror that awaited. On January 31st, the weather worsened. Strong wind, heavy snow. They chose to set up their tent right on the open slope of Kholat Syakhl, rather than lose elevation by moving into the forest. It would be colder, but better for tomorrow's climb. They cooked dinner, wrote in their diaries, teased each other. These were the last words they would ever write. Then came the night. -30 degrees. The wind howled over the ridge. What happened inside that tent still remains one of the world's greatest mysteries. When the group failed to return on time, a search was launched. At first, fellow students and hikers set out. Soon the military and police joined in. On February 26th, they found the tent empty. It had been slashed with a knife from the inside. Sleeping bags, boots, food, all left behind. Footprints led away, down the slope, for nearly a kilometer. Bare feet, socks, carefully walking, not running, as if in a calm but desperate retreat. Then the tracks simply vanished in the snow. Near the edge of the forest, under cedar trees, they found Doroshenko and Krivonischenko. Nearly naked, with burns on their hands, likely from trying to crawl into the fire itself. Not far away lay Zina, Igor, and Rustam. Each faced toward the tent, as if trying to crawl back. The last four, Luda, Nikolai, Semyon, and Alexander, were discovered only months later under deep snow in a ravine. They had horrific internal injuries, shattered ribs, cracked skulls. And Luda's body was missing her tongue. But the strangest part? Many of these injuries had no external bruising or cuts, as if inflicted by immense pressure, not by a blow. Like being hit by a car, but with the skin untouched. Some wore pieces of each other's clothing, likely stripped from the dead in a desperate attempt to survive longer. And then there was radiation. Clothing from Zolotaryov and Krivonischenko tested positive for higher than normal levels. The mystery only deepened. The official Soviet investigation quickly concluded, an avalanche. The group heard it coming, slashed their way out, fled. But experts today point out the slope was only 15 degrees, too shallow. And why did the hikers calmly walk for nearly a kilometer, instead of running? That area was near secret rocket ranges. Locals reported glowing orbs in the sky that night. Could they have panicked at an explosion? But why cut the tent, instead of using the exit flap? Some scientists believe wind whipping over the pass created an infrasound, a low-frequency noise that induces sheer terror. Perhaps they fled, irrationally, into the freezing night. But that doesn't explain the terrible internal injuries. Others suspected the local Mansi tribes. But there was no evidence of an attack. No defensive wounds, no motive. In fact, the Mansi joined the search teams. Then there are the stories that the place really is cursed. Why else would it be called Mountain of the Dead for centuries? In 2019, the case was reopened. Investigators again pointed to a slab avalanche. Swiss scientists even used animation software from Disney's Frozen to model how a small, delayed snow slide could produce such injuries. And yet, none of these theories explains everything. Beyond all the speculation were real people. They sang by campfires, shared bread, dreamed of future hikes. Back home, their parents waited for letters that would never come. For them, the Dyatlov Pass is not a mystery. It is a wound that never healed. So what did happen that night? Why did 9 skilled hikers flee into lethal cold, almost calmly, as if ordered by some force beyond comprehension? Was it snow? Rockets? Sound? Something we still cannot understand? More than 6 decades have passed, and we are still asking these questions. What do you think? Tell us your theory in the comments. And don't forget to like the video, so more people can learn about this chilling mystery. We may never know the truth. But the memory of these 9 young souls lives on. They went into the mountains, and never returned.